Again, friends and fans, Raptor here. Welcome back. It is Gold Rush, finally released, and we are ready to rock and become billionaires here in our plots in Alaska. So if you want to see more of this, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new around these parts, go ahead and subscribe, so that way I can show you the latest and greatest of what this fantastic game has to offer. Folks, we're doing a little bit of mining here today, as you can see, via shovel. Yes, this shovel right now in my hand. We dug out a little bit of this area here, this muddy area, and we've been transporting it over here to our mud hog, or the pump here called the Golden Retriever. We've been basically, the water and dirt go down the down the ramp here and get caught in some of these little mats, which capture all of the gold. We then roll up these mats here and dip them into the water, where we can then do a little bit of sifting or panning through the gold and the rocks here, and then eventually get ourselves some money. So let's try to find some cash now. We've got a little bit of a, oh boy, we got a little bit of a problem here. Oh no, it looks like our bucket fell over. Yeah, that happens from time to time, but it looks like we're full of water for whatever reason. Wow, fell into the hole, now it's full of water. Okay, well, the gods of gold have smiled upon us here today. Let's go ahead and grab this pan here. We'll start sifting. Actually, this has already been, I've already weeded through this a little bit, so we don't need anything in there. That's all bad, but we're going to try to find ourselves some gold here. We have the ability to purchase heavy equipment in this game. We've got excavators, we've got bulldozers, we've got all sorts of things that we can use in order to get us some gold. So we're going to try to make some money here, see if we can find a big nugget, a big break, so that way we don't have to dig in the dirt anymore. Hopefully that happens. All right, there goes one of our mats again, dipped into the water, and that should give us plenty of gold here. We'll dip that one back. We can't do 3 and 4 yet until we've until we go through what we've got here, sifting or panning through what we've got. So let's give it a start here. All right, let's go ahead and get started by dipping her in. And the greatest way to do this, or at least the easiest way in the game, is to just kind of lower it down a little bit and kind of run it through the water this way, and then pick it up and let some of the water run off. There you go. So you already see some gold nuggets in there. We got to do a little bit more washing before we can do any sort of collecting of our nuggets. And we have a few tools to do that. Of course, we've got ourselves some tweezers, but of course the good old suction little jar there is very good, the little cup there. All right, so let's get started. We'll dip some of our rocks off the top here. And this is one way I found to do it the best, at least, is to dip off some of the rocks, and instead of dipping all of them off, just kind of sifting through the gold this way. So we'll use our little squeeze bottle to see if we can connect to some of these gold bits here. All right, we've already got 0.79 ounces of gold, so we're almost up to 1 ounce. And so once we find the rest of these gold I was going to say doubloons, but it's just little bits of gold. I want to find a big old nugget, maybe some pirate treasure. I don't know, maybe we can find something like that here. All right, I see 2 pieces of gold that might not necessarily be clean enough for us to collect, so what we'll do is we'll just lower her back down into the bucket and do a little bit more cleaning. Sometimes you want to clean a little bit more than you'd think, so there's a good example of that. We'll do it one more time just to make sure. There we go. It looks like the water's pretty clean here, so it shouldn't be too much more of a problem. All right, let's grab our little suction cup here, our little squeeze bottle. I keep saying suction cup, but as you know, it just sucks it right up out of there. And we almost have ourselves 1 full ounce of gold just with this little selection here. So this has taken me about 2 hours to get to this point in the game, so I didn't want to start off just from the beginning. So stay tuned for us running to the, we're going to run over to the warehouse and grab some extra stuff here. We're going to dump out that's all good to go now. And we're going to get another little delivery here from our bucket. And we've got a lot of stuff to buy. You can do it all manually by hand if you'd like, but like I mentioned, there's bulldozers and heavy equipment, large wash plants, and all sorts of different things, including the ability to hire workers and work at multiple plots, which will definitely help you out. Parcels, as they're called in the game, which will definitely help you out making money and keep your upkeep costs down, especially if you have to go buy fuel and all sorts of different things that you'll have to pay for as things are going on. Looking pretty good here so far. The water textures are a little weird when it leaks out. It looks like a weird reflection over the pan here. There we go. I think we're pretty good now, so let's go ahead and dip some of our ore out, and we'll pick it up a little bit. There we go, and we'll see what we can dip out. Let's bring the plate a little closer to us. Looks like we may have lost some gold on that one, but that's okay. I think we're about ready to find a big O nugget here. There we go. There goes one there. Actually, if anything, there's about 3 to 5 in here, so we should be pretty good. All right, 97. Let's see what we get with this one. Okay, 0.99 ounces. Doing pretty good. All right, let's do one more. I think this is the big one. I think this is going to be it. I think we're going to find a giant nugget in this one here. This is our second to last chance to strike it rich here in Alaska. Can we do it, folks? Again, for those of you who like this game, by the way, it is available on Steam for $17.99. Again, the name of the game is Gold Rush, the game, and it also is coming to PS4 and Xbox, from what I've heard, later in 2018. So you'll have to wait until next year. So anybody in the comments section who said, what game is this? When is it? You didn't listen. You didn't listen. All right, let's go. Let's start here by getting out the rest of the dirt here. And I think we just need to grab ourselves some healthy nuggets here. There we go. Oh, what is this? You're lucky. I've never seen anything like that. It's the biggest gold nugget I've seen in 40 years of my mining experience. I hope it's not just beginner's luck and you'll use it wisely to stop shoveling and start using proper machines. Check what you need to run the mobile wash plant, and don't forget about excavator. Well, even the smaller one should be enough for you. Love, Arnold. Well, Arnold, thank you very much. Oh my God. All right, so we've just made 40 ounces. We just found a 40-ounce nugget here, folks. That is incredible, and we've got a lot more gold to boot. So what we'll do here is we'll just abandon our site. Let's go to a different site now. As you guys may remember, this is the same from the demo area where we used the wash plant and such before. It looks like we might have one more nugget there. There we go. And that looks good enough for me. So if we dumped any of it, screw it. Let's go get rich elsewhere. Every little bit counts at the beginning, but for now we're going to get rich elsewhere. So what we're going to do here is we've got ourselves a lot of good equipment here. We bought ourselves a pump, and we've got all of that kind of going through here, and the water's being pushed through here to the auto pump, which cleans the, basically is a constant flow of water, which helps us to find the gold. But we're done here. Let's get up to the shop. We'll go elsewhere. We got a bank in which we can take out loans. We got all sorts of different things here we can do in the game. So let's run up to the truck. There we go. Geez, taking slow. I guess those heavy gold bars are definitely weighing us down. All right, we'll fire up the engine here, kick off the e-brake, and we're rolling. So there's a whole town here, though it's a very quiet town. It's almost like an abandoned city that we're kind of living in currently. We're going to head over to the bank after we go to the blacksmith. So first we're going to go to the blacksmith to get him to turn our gold into an actual bar. We'll sell it then at the bank. And once we sell that, we should have enough money to buy some decent equipment, including a wash plant and a few other things we need. So again, this game is definitely worth it. It's been incredible to play this game, and it's really good. And with 4 plots to go to, not to mention some free DLC coming in terms of a big O dump truck, it's going to be really cool. So I'm excited to see if they add new maps and stuff like that in the future. Currently only 1 map, but 4 different areas you can go to, and it's a very vast area as well. One thing, though, that I would say is that sometimes during the game, it goes into a weird loading process where it will try to load the map. So if you drive too fast with the truck, you kind of jump faster than the map, and the game's like, ho, hold on, we're not done loading that. So it's like, oh, okay. But not too big of a problem. So for those of you who like realistic gold mining, this is definitely the game for you. I thought this might be, I didn't even know this at the beginning was related to the show on Discovery Channel, but it is, and they've done a fantastic job with it. Everything from basic get out a shovel and start mining to big equipment. There's exactly what I was mentioning before about the whole loading. It seems to be loading most of the town, which is very strange because it kind of loads it once or twice, but that's the only hindrance I've seen in this game so far. Not that big of a deal. Alright, so we're going to follow the railroad tracks up ahead, and we're going to head into town that way. And we're going to go over to the blacksmith and then the bank. And we can also hire workers too, but we'll have to unlock that. And our worker can actually work where we just left from, but we need to leave him all the equipment, which is why I didn't take it with me. So if we would have taken some of that equipment, we would have probably hindered our worker from actually doing his job. So hiring him and then giving him no tools to do his job is not going to get us any money. All right, we're going to turn right here, across the railroad tracks, over to the blacksmith shop. All right, very good. Now we're on asphalt again. Feels good to actually be on some solid dirt. This town is incredibly crazy, though. There's really some crazy roads in this town that you'll have to drive through with your wash plant and trailers. And we're about to see all the stuff that's available at the workshop, so stay here. Here we go. Wait right there in the truck. I'll be right back, everybody. Okay, let's knock on the door. Let's go ahead and turn our 40-ouncer into damn near, what, 30-something ounces of gold. There we go. All right, we got our gold bar. There it is, folks. Very nice. All right, now as you would normally imagine, since it's very important, we're just going to throw it into the back of the truck. Really, you don't have to do anything with it. Once you've got it, you can just leave it there, and it just becomes like money in the bank, or at least the game recognizes it as you having a gold bar no matter where you go with it. All right, let's go ahead and back out of here. We're going to head over to the bank now, and we're going to then buy some big equipment. And we can also buy ourselves an excavator, too, and a bulldozer, and we can also buy some wash plants and also a large magnetite ramp type of thing. We'll take a look at what that is in a second. Very good game in third person or in first person. and also can be played on the Xbox controller too. So there we go. We're pulling up to the bank in style by leaving a nice streak. Very nice. All right, we'll leave the truck running because we're about to rob this place, literally. No, not really. But we're going to go ahead and hand over our gold bar. So right now we had the old Arnold parcel. That might be from the demo that you remember. And Rivertown is one that we've got just south of Crystal Lake, which interestingly enough, there's a camp next to it called Camp Crystal Lake. I'm not going to say anything more there. We'll let the old people who remember that movie figure that one out. Okay, so we've got 0.4023. Let's go ahead and take a look at stocks. Stocks for gold is about as low as it could be. So, you know, it's probably the best time for us to sell. You can go back and look and see the prices of gold. Doesn't look like it's getting much higher. It was much higher about a week ago, but that's basically when we started the game, when you start with no equipment. So this is going to be the best time for us to sell, or we have to take out a giant load, but I'm just going to go ahead and opt to sell it. It's kind of RNG as to whether or not it actually sells at a good time or not. So let's go ahead and sell, which can be a little tricky. You got to like select things a few times. Okay, hopefully that worked. And there we go, $49,000, almost $50,000 in the bank. So very good. If we grabbed a, we still have a couple of $100 sitting at the site we were just at in the bucket, but this is plenty for us to head out and go over to the warehouse now. So let's back out of here, and we're going to head over to the warehouse where we're going to purchase some things. So we're going to set up a new site over where Camp Crystal Lake is. So I don't think Jason Voorhees is going to be very happy about that, but that's what we're going to do. So here is the warehouse where we can pick up all of our stuff. We're going to pull in here. We're going to load up our pickup after we select everything that we need. So for those of you who remember the demo, you'll remember that the wash plant is very important and very profitable if you use it right. So that is this piece of equipment here, and this is the shop. This is really cool. The warehouse, the store, whatever you want to call it. There is a ton of stuff in here. You've got your magnetite trailer, you've got your wash plant trailer here, and a couple of smaller trailers too, small and larger trailers, plus a fuel tank, a mobile fuel tank that you can bring with just in case you need to fuel up something like a bulldozer. We've got ourselves a water, well, I call it the water table, but it's the wave table, and of course the magnetite separator over here too. You got pumps and mobile generators. We're going to need all this stuff here today. So first and foremost, let's grab ourselves the wash plant for $13,000. We're going to grab one of those, and we're also going to grab ourselves the wave table. Wash table is what I was going to call it, but the wave table is going to be needed too. We're going to grab ourselves another water pump, and we're also going to grab ourselves an electric generator, mobile generator in this case. We'll also need to grab some more jerry cans to fuel that up with, so we'll find those in a moment. But we also will need a power cable here, and a smaller power cable too for the wave table. We're just going to buy one at a time. If we need to come back, we can, and it looks like we can even use extensions if we need to. Looks like we've got ourselves the hog box, which is what we were using before. This was the one with the pump, but you can start like I did with no pump at all, and we live stream that as well. Here's where you buy your mats too. So again, this is a fantastic game. Been playing it for hours, and I think there's a lot more hours of entertainment in store for us. Another thing that we need is over here. We need the jerry cans. We're going to buy about 3 of these. I have one back at our original site, so I'll buy 3 more and fill those up at the gas station in a moment. We'll need ourselves the wave table jets, and we're also going to need possibly another bucket or 2. Let's go ahead and buy one of those. So it looks like the area in which is going to have our inventory is full, so we're going to buy now, and we might need to load up our truck with some more stuff here very soon. But half of our money disappearing, most of which is going to that mobile wash plant. So let's go ahead and buy everything. It will then spawn out there, but we're not done with our spending spree yet. So we're going to load up everything in the truck. And there you go. You see all the stuff that we've got here. We got our mobile wash plant. We got our fuel tanks, our bucket, some of our extension cords out here too, and a few things we're going to have to take 2 trips for. Some of them are just too big, including this wash table over here, the wave table. Just a little too big. I've even got an extra hog washer over here, but we'll see if we need that at the moment. We'll get everything organized eventually. There's a lot of equipment and a lot of places to bring it, so we want to make sure the truck's loaded up nicely. So for those of you who love loading up trucks and rolling out and doing that kind of stuff, this is the game for you. I don't know if you can get an upgraded truck. There's definitely a vehicle plant somewhere here. They call it the, what do they call it, the heavy vehicle? What is it called exactly? Oh, wow, drilling machines are in the game, bulldozers, front-end loaders, dump trucks, small and big excavators. On the right side you can see. But what we're looking for here is the machine park, is the technical term for it here in the game. So we'll go over there and grab whatever we can. in a moment or two. But first, we got to get this wash plant delivered before nighttime here. It's almost noon, so a lot of the stuff kind of stacks weirdly in the game, but it's pretty stable. A lot of things will stay in the truck without flying out, believe it or not. And the tailgate will close and push everything into position, too. We'll put the jerry cans on last, so that way we can fuel up shortly. There's another extension cable that we needed. We'll need a bucket, too. And I'm going to grab, I think it's best to have a total of like 3 or 4 buckets. Really, they're like $1 a pop, so you really don't need to worry about it too much. So let's grab more of these. Let's grab ourselves maybe a total of 4 of them. So we have 1 on the truck, plus 3 more that we just added to our cart. And I think we're also going to need one other thing. What was it? Did I buy a green hose or not? We're actually going to need a few more things for our pumps. So hydraulic hoses. We're going to need to buy ourselves a thin hose times 2. And we're also going to need to buy ourselves a fat hose. And, of course, a water filter. So those are going to be some more things that we need. So sometimes you got to make a couple of trips to the store. We'll have to buy that last. Oh, actually, we'll have to buy it at the register now. We'll check out what we got, and we'll grab the filter last thing before we go. So half of the trip, it's almost like the Oregon Trail. You're actually preparing for your journey across the map here. So it's pretty cool. We'll get that water wavetable out of here so that way we can get some more stuff into our area, into our load zone. So that's what it's counting. That inventory number there just means how many items can fit until the game considers it to be full. So you just have to move these items to your truck. And like I said, you can bring a hell of a lot of stuff, and you need a lot of stuff in order to get started here. So buckets and such are just important. Super important. Anything of that like is just really critical. I know, it's a little bucket. What does it matter? Very important. It's super important. Okay, so we got ourselves 4 buckets in here. We'll drop off any more that we need to. And again, you can never have enough buckets in this game. Buckets of fun, for sure. We'll leave the wave table behind. We'll leave our jets behind. We'll need those jerry cans now, the technical term of it. We'll need these in order to fill up our generators and our water pumps. So we will need a few tanks of fuel. And of course, you can bring that mobile tank along, but I don't need to. I don't want to bring that along yet. All right. So the next thing is we will come back for our. We're going to come back for the wash plant. We're going to go to the gas station, get that filled up, and then we're going to head out to our new site. So let's fire up the engine, pop off the parking brake, and let's roll. We'll come back for that wash plant on the left side. Actually, wait a minute. We also need that water filter too. So before I forget about that, hold on. Let me just back her up right here to the gate. We're going to grab ourselves the water filter too. Last thing before I forget. We'll be so quick in here you won't even notice it. All right, so here we go with our water filter. We want 1 of those. We'll add that to the cart, and we will make a purchase here at the cash register. Interesting thing, too, by the way. Oh, it looks like... Oh, are we out of money? Wait. Total cost, water filter. Oh, the buy button. There we go. Cash only here. So, you know, we basically carried like $20,000 to this place with us in order to buy that wash plant. All right, there's the filter that we needed as well. So now off to the gas station. We'll fill those 3 tanks as well as our own truck tank. It apparently runs on diesel too. So there we go, we're rolling out. So I'm playing on high graphics as well. There's also ultra, but it seems like no matter what mode you play in, there's a little bit of rendering that the game will do between jumping in and out of the vehicle, which isn't too bad. For those of you concerned about performance, you should be able to run this on really any sort of computer, and you can plummet the graphics down to low. And in fact, really the only time the game struggles is when you're moving between great distances, which is infrequent because, you know, you only kind of... You don't really want to make too many trips in this game to different locations. You want to bring everything at once. And, you know how it is. You know how some guys can be. All right, we're up here now at the gas station. So we're going to come to a stop, cut the engine. And it looks like we got a huge wreck over here. Look at that truck. Completely smashed over there. Wow. All right, we're going to go ahead and open up our fuel tank here. And we'll get our gas pumped in. So the cool thing about this, what I really like, is the fact that you can select how much fuel you want. So if you don't have a lot of fuel... or a lot of gas, or don't need a lot of fuel, you can just top off if you want to, or you can give it a half tank or whatever. If you're not going to be, you know, using the truck too much or something, or want to fill up the excavator, you can fill it up however you like. All right, we got 3 diesel tanks here to unload, and we're going to fill these up. So the 3 of these should be pretty good here. Looks like I've lined these up pretty nicely. There we go. And can we use this one? Nope, just this other pump over here. So we'll fill the 3 of these up here, the 3 amigos for diesel fuel. And this will be used on our generators and our pumps. It's going to be very important for those. And you can also fill up that mobile fuel tank this way as well. And with that, of course, you can, pretty much transport it to anything. Everything in this game seems to run off diesel. So it's very important to make sure you've got it running at full capacity. All right, all fuel is loaded up, so we're good to go. We won't have to come back here for some time. And we're good. We're good there. Let's go ahead and close the fuel cap on the truck, and we'll load up our fuel now. So again, diesel fuel, very important. Very, very important. All right. So these 3 containers are going. We're going to go back and grab that. We're going to go back and grab the wash plant now. So again, we're just getting ready for our journey here, and there'll be many more episodes and many more live streams of this game, because this one is a total good time investment. Like, you can spend an entire weekend playing this game and just enjoy every second of it. And there we go. We're rolling out now out of the gas station. I hope that was a cow. There's a cop over there. Again, like I said, this town is completely like abandoned. There's cops everywhere, but it just seems like nobody's home. Look at this. You can actually see like the back end of our pickup truck just being weighed down now. And you can see again the game loading in. So not too big of a problem, but it's all good. All right, so we're going to get to our next destination here. And we're going to find a new plot, one that I definitely haven't seen before, or definitely haven't worked at before. And again, by the way, another good tip too, a lot of players are having a little bit of trouble with the shovels I've seen. And again, in order to engage the shovels, you will need to press the comma or the period key, and I'll leave that as probably the top comment. If you could like my comment too, so new players can just find that out, the developers might want to address that too, that it's not the scroll wheel or anything. In order to use your shovel, you do need to use the period and the comma keys at this time. But if that changes, someone can just correct me down below. Okay. So we do need to connect to this wash plant I guess it's not straight on here. There we go. There we go. So we now should be able to connect our trailer to our truck. Very good. Everything's locked in nicely, and we're on our way to our next destination. So where we're going to go on the map is down here to the lower left corner, which is just here at Rivertown. Rivertown has a very large area here at the dry lake, and there's actually a little bit of water that runs out of Crystal Lake up here. Camp Crystal Lake, I'm telling you. Jason Voorhees, y'all. But there are 4 plots in the game, one of which you start by renting just around here, the Arnold plot, which they've spelled Arnold. The Arnold plot. And I don't know what the correct spelling is, because they spell it differently in both the text in the game and also on the map. But here's where we began. And we're going to also drive up here to the Perks Valley, or the Pricks Valley. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. The Nighthawk Valley as well, just north of the Four Finger Sawmill, which are all great inside jokes if you think about it. But we're gonna start down here at the dry lake. So let's get started. Then we're gonna have to drive down that direction. And any other supplies that we need, anything that I've left behind, anything that I need to come back and get, we will always come back to grab more of. So there's no real hesitant to come back to town. We'll be okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a journey here. Very cool that we're actually driving through town with our mining equipment. I'm just going to quickly check the map too to make sure we're driving the right way. So we do want to take a looks like we're going to want to take a left here. Is that right? Yeah, we're going to take a left here, and we're going to head down past the radio station, or do we want to keep going? Looks like no. Actually, we're going to want to go take a right whenever we can past the actual vehicle center. So that's another thing I need to look at, is to find out how much that excavator is going to cost. And I think we're heading left on the map. We're heading west, so we want to flip around. I think we want to head the other direction. So let's just flip around here. There's no compass or anything like that, no directions, so it can sometimes be confusing, but we'll circle around. It's okay. But a very nice city. I just wish it actually looked like it was alive. It looks so abandoned. It looks like there was a zombie apocalypse of some sort. I wish it would just be alive. Everything here is just so desolate and just sad, but it looked nice if it was more of a... I mean, I'm sure mining... Well, maybe that's what it's to represent, is an abandoned mining town. But there's still people here. There's a bank. There's a gas station. Traffic lights don't work, but very, I guess, very alive world, if anything. All right, let's go over this way by the diner. I think this is the direction I wanted to go. And if we look here on the mini-map, you'll see that if we take a right here, the machine park should be on our right side too. So past the police station is where we will need to buy or rent some of our equipment. So you can see here we've got a large and small excavator, and we'll be using some of these, possibly the small one, very shortly. Let's go ahead and just cut the engine here. Let's take a quick look at what we've got for equipment here. Cash only again here at the Pure Power. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. Available soon. You can see here that they got the dump truck coming very soon, and here's the drilling machine over here as well that you'll be able to use for your mining. Very nice. So we've got ourselves the, and possibly a bulldozer. Yes, there it is. The bulldozer, the wheel loader. Looks like we even got ourselves a large mobile tank over there that we can transport with the excavators. And here, for $28,000, we can rent or buy the small excavator, so we have just enough cash. If we need more money, we can always go back to our other site. And look at this, giant sluice boxes here. That is crazy. Just huge pieces of equipment here in this game. All right, let's head over to our site. We're going to set up our wash plant. This is going to be a very big series on the channel. Again, if you guys want me to actually play this as a series, I'm interested in doing a few episodes, but again, it all comes down to what you guys are interested in, so hit that like button and just scream for more down below in the comment section if you want to see more. I mean, I don't want to waste my time in doing something you guys don't want to watch, and I definitely want to play this one, so please give me an excuse to play. And there's a hell of a lot of roads here to get confused on and lost. Let's make sure we're going the right way here. I think we want to stick on the right road and then take another right. So, all right, we actually do want to go down this way. The suspension works beautifully on this game. I really am impressed with it. It's really amazing. All right, so here we have a flooding zone. Do not stop for the next half mile, okay? Let's see if we can avoid that. Oh, boy. Well, this is going to be... don't worry, the danger is not the flooding. The danger is my driving. It's a little easier to drive in first person, but I'm trying to give you that beautiful third-person perspective of this game, and it really is gorgeous. There's like a little bit of spin tires to it as you're driving around with equipment like this. Something I'd like to see in spin tires too, by the way, is all this, you know, actual driving of valuable equipment rather than just logs. It's cool to actually be transporting something like a wash plant down by the old dam. Everything in this map seems to be the old this, the old that. There's the old railroad road, the old mill, the old mine, that kind of thing. So it's really just a real beautifully lived-in world. But also, it's also just abandoned. And again, I'd just like to see a little bit more life in it. That's all. But maybe they're going for something different. I don't know. All right, our trailer's staying with us. That's good news. And we're almost to our site now. We have to go past this old large mining area in order to get to the dry lake bed, so we might be able to find a lot of gold over there as well. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see. All right. So now we're just going through some very narrow areas here. And I'm not sure with the excavators if when you order them, if they're delivered or if they are... if you have to drive them here, and that's going to be a real pain if you have to drive them. But I don't see any. There's no flatbeds in the game. There's no low boys or anything like that you can get anything onto. So it's going to either have to be teleported magically, or you're going to have to drive it. One of the two. Game's loading up the map again. There we go. I'm trying not to go so fast just to give it some time, but we're almost to our destination. Right up here, folks, this large area here is where we're at for the camp. And then we'll drive down here and there'll be a gate. There's a heck of a lot of driving to get to this plot. This one seems like it's the furthest away, but again, you can see that the world is... I mean, this isn't just, you know, they've locked you into a small area to do your mining, and they've actually created a world here, which is very cool, that some of these plots are far away from each other, and they did just a fantastic job. I mean, this game, for the price and for what you can do in it, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. There's a few things that are minor, I guess, so I might bring it down a little bit, but these are things that I think they would fix in some sort of a... oh, look over there. There's Camp Crystal Lake over there, where Jason and his victims are. Oh, my God. But, yeah, 10 out of 10. If they fix the minor things, still 10 out of 10. For me, anyway. So definitely get this one, folks. All right, we are rolling into the dry lake bed now. A lot of rocks here from the old lake. And we're actually going to do some mining here at the bottom of the lake. Well, I guess this is... oh, maybe there was a river that ran through here. Oh, I bet that's exactly what this is. Maybe it's an old logging camp or something like that. Uh-oh, folks. It looks like we got stuck. We'll kick on our differential. There we go. Differential locks on. There we go. And you can just drive through, no problem. I was looking more at the mine. The world is very, very beautiful. I really want to make that clear because it's really gorgeous. Look at that. The wash plant's just getting whipped around, but we're trying to get to our destination. All right. So we're going to set up in the western corner of the map, and oh, I didn't think I hit anything. What am I hung up on? Oh, an imaginary tree or something? Oh, the hitbox of that tree must be a little bigger than usual. Yeah, so we'll set up in the western upper corner there, and we'll set up our pumps and such and get the wash plant going, and then we'll have to bring over some other things. You can see that there's a few other things here for us to use. In fact, this is where we can store all of our items that we're needing to use later, if needed, anyway. And over here is where we'll sleep to advance time. Each area, if you don't want to work at night, has a little cabin or a little trailer that you can work on. Well, that was a nice little drive through there. That worked. Okay, we're going to set up over here so we can bring all of our pay dirt up to it. And I think I see a nice flat area right about here. And we're going to flip around. I'm going to actually swing around. Let's see, which way do I want to do this. I'm going to flip the truck around so that way we're pointing the other way. And we're going to set up our base just over here. So you do want to set up in a flat area. The bulldozer is a good piece of equipment to get you to set up that way too. But as you can see on the map, they've already kind of got some areas where you can set up some of your equipment. For example, your large sluices can be set up over there. Okay, this is where we're going to be setting up, speaking of which. So let's hop out of the truck and detach our trailer. Very nice. We'll drop the tailgate, and we will also roll ahead a little bit. All right, we're going to go over here now and back up to there's a riverbed up here. Even though it's a dry lake, there is a riverbed that kind of is around here. It's just up through there. You see the little path that kind of goes up that way? We're going to try to back up as best we can. There we go. And pop that e-brake. There we go. And cut the engine. So, this is where we're going to be spending the next couple of episodes, folks, at this new plot. We're going to walk up here. I'm going to show you. You see the tape is kind of removed, and this is where we're going to be getting our water from. So the river does seem to come down. There's like a little bit of a creek or something that comes down and goes back that way. But this is where we're going to get our water. We're going to pump it out to the wash plant, and then we're going to start our digging with that excavator. If we need extra cash, we'll go back to the other site and do a little bit of sifting. It's not that big of a deal, a little bit of panning. But let's move some of our equipment out of the way here. We are going to need, first and foremost, the water pump, and we'll get some of that stuff going here. So we'll need some fuel for that. So we'll grab that. That'll come with. And our power generator, we'll bring that back in a minute. We'll put that back in the truck, I think. And all right, we got to do a little organization. Too bad you can't organize things better, but it's not too bad, really. Despite all these items being free and wild like this, it works really nicely. Oh, there's our water filter, too. We're going to need one of those. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There goes one of our buckets. Like I said, most important thing in the game, but boy, are they wild. We'll grab one of those and throw them back in there in a second. Last thing we need is that water filter that's just hiding next to the cab of the truck there behind the roll cage. There we go. Okay, and let's toss this out. Oh, I'm getting stuck here. All right, sometimes you just got to move some items. Oh, boy. Is that another jerry can that fell out? Yep, looks like we threw out a gas tank there. Okay, let's load these back into the truck, and we'll get set up with our water pump and filter. That won't be too bad, and then we'll get our power unit set up over there. We will need to circle back and grab that wave table. We will need to go back into town for some other things. So anything that I've forgotten, anything else that we need to get, we will grab in the next trip. But now we're just going to set all this up. So this is how to do the setup, folks. And this is the most important part after the tour. So it should all be good here. So let's go ahead and set this thing up. We're going to jump up here and pop this thing probably right next to the river here. And which way does the... all right, we'll put it this way then. I was going to see which way the hoses go, so they should pop out the other side. Uh-oh, it rotated it. There we go, that's perfect. So the water will have to go in through here where it says in, and then the hoses on either side is where water can come out back down to the wash plant down there. Hopefully our hose should be long enough, we'll see. And we'll fuel this thing up too. So let's get it some fuel. Actually, we'll bring all the stuff we need up here, I think. There we go. We'll get all the stuff in place, and then we'll begin assembling it. How about that? There we go. All right, now we need our two hoses up here. And we need the filter ready. So there's our extra hoses. Just trying to double time this one now. And our final filter. So this is good. We'll set this up here in a moment or two. We're just going to get everything out of the truck, I think, for this time. And we'll get it all together. And then where did our jerry can go? Oh. Let's see. It should be around here somewhere. Did it fall? Oh, it's under there. Okay, perfect. All right, so now that we've got all this stuff in order, we're going to roll up over to the wash plant. Heck, I don't even know if we need to start the engine. Hold on, I'm not even going to touch the gas. I'm not touching the gas. I'm just going to pull the e-brake. Phew. Oh, that was easy. I didn't even need to turn the truck on. All right. So now the next thing here before night comes is to get the truck unloaded. And we need to set up a base of operations over here. So the key here is to try to make this thing as flat as possible. It doesn't need to be completely flat, but being flat as possible is good. We can start our area over here. Our excavator can start digging here. and making a pile, and then we should be able to possibly dump it in over here. But if we want to start next to the excavator, we can do that. And we can also move the wash plant somewhere to be closer to the excavator, but we want a little bit of working room, so it doesn't have to be super flat, but this is about as, that's about as angled as you'd want it to be through my experience so far. So we'll get ourselves power cords out, and we'll connect these all up here. Let's organize it, make it look nice. And our buckets will come out over here, just next to this, so we'll have to grab those too. So the buckets are very important. This is where the material that is potentially holding gold will be after it's filtered once or twice. There we go. This will allow us to have much bigger scoops than a shovel. We're extending it up to a large, like a power shovel. So let's go ahead and grab this one here. Should be able to pop it on next to this one. There we go. And we'll take our third and fourth one and we'll dump them out over here. So organization is very important in this game. You at least want to know where your things are, and you will probably lose track of something, but it's not the end of the world. There's our diesel can that we'll need for our power generator, and we'll lay that down over here, and our power cord as well. Alright, and then when we bring over our wave table, this will also need a couple of the extra buckets as well. And I don't know what will run out of fuel first, so we'll just take our extra jerry can and we'll put it next to that one. So there is our first delivery done, folks. We need to go back and get our wave table. We need to go back and get some, maybe some extra fuel. We need to go set up a worker on our other site, and there's plenty to do in the game. This is a fantastic title. You are still watching me? You need to stop and get this game. You need to get this game right now. So, all right, that is it for our first episode, folks, as we're calling it a day here. The sun is going down. Everything's been delivered. Tomorrow morning, we're going to set up our pump over to our wash plant. We're going to set up our power generator up to the wash plant as well, so that can get operating. We're going to get our excavator over here, and we're also going to be hiring a worker at our other site so we can make some cash. So that is it for the first episode, folks. Thanks for joining me for our little tour and basic setup. And next time, I will see you for some real hard work and some real good mining. I'll see you all next time. Bye.